Welcome to General News. For August 12, 2026, we are following a desperate search for survivors in Western Colombia after a devastating earthquake, the high-stakes election in Zambia that could decide the nation's economic future, and a significant shift in United States childhood vaccine recommendations. In Colombia, the race against time is intensifying, as rescue teams work to reach survivors trapped beneath the rubble of buildings collapsed by a magnitude 7.4 earthquake. The disaster has claimed at least 254 lives so far, with the highest concentration of casualties in the cities of Cali and Pereira. In Cali alone, local government data indicates at least 95 deaths and the total or partial collapse of 45 structures. The United Nations has reported that roughly 5,000 homes across the region have sustained damage. One of the most critical sites for rescue operations is the Vanessa Building, a 7-story apartment complex in Cali. The building collapsed onto a neighboring nursery at an Adventist church, and volunteers there report that approximately 17 children remain trapped under the wreckage. Rescuers are currently digging tunnels through concrete slabs to reach those still alive. There is a sense of profound urgency. Rescuers have reported detecting signs of life from at least 2 individuals, including 2 children named Samuel and Sarah, who are located in a highly inaccessible area of the debris. Search efforts are being conducted under intense heat by a mix of professional rescue teams, military personnel, and volunteers. The work is punctuated by moments of absolute silence as crews periodically pause all heavy machinery to listen for any sound from beneath the rubble. To help manage the chaos and address fears of looting, Mayor Alejandro Eda has imposed a nightly curfew in Cali from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., allowing movement only for emergency and medical personnel. This crisis comes at a difficult time for President Abelardo de la Espriella, who was inaugurated in Cali shortly before the quake. While he has pledged government support, some observers have criticized the initial response as disorganized and lacking centralized leadership. Meanwhile, residents in areas like Buenaventura have expressed concerns that aid and resources are being concentrated in the major cities rather than reaching more remote regions. While rescue teams in Colombia face a race against the clock, voters in Zambia are preparing for a pivotal election tomorrow, August 13. This vote is expected to serve as a massive referendum on President Hakainde Hichilema and his government's economic reforms. The president and his United Party for National Development are seeking a second term, facing 14 other candidates, including opposition leader Brian Mundubile of the Tonts Alliance. On paper, the administration points to significant progress in stabilizing the economy through debt restructuring, the completion of an IMF-supported program, and a reduction in inflation. However, for many Zambians, these macroeconomic improvements have not yet translated into relief at the kitchen table. Voters are facing continued heavy pressure from the high costs of food, fuel, and electricity. Analysts suggest the election will be shaped by this exact gap: the difference between the government's reported economic recovery and the lived reality of citizens struggling with unemployment and the rising cost of living. A key point of debate is the nation's copper production. While the government has set a target to increase annual production to 3 million tons, voters are looking to see if that increased mining revenue will actually benefit the wider population through jobs and public services, or if the wealth will remain concentrated at the top. In the United States, a significant policy shift is unfolding regarding childhood health. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that reduces the number of vaccines recommended by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for children, moving from 18 diseases down to 11. The order also advises that the MMR vaccine be administered as separate shots rather than a single combination dose. During the announcement of this order, the president made several claims regarding vaccine safety and administration. He suggested that children receive 72 injections by age 18, though the White House figure includes all potential doses, such as annual flu and COVID-19 shots, rather than just the standard childhood schedule. He also claimed the MMR vaccine could be lethal and suggested a single dose is the size of a soda bottle, though FDA data lists the actual dose at only 0.5 ml. This move follows the president's suggestions of a link between rising autism rates and childhood vaccinations. While data shows that autism diagnosis rates have increased, rising from 1 in 110 in 2006 to 1 in 88 in 2008, medical experts note that this growth does not match the scale described by the administration. Experts and a 2025 World Health Organization study involving millions of children have found no causal link between vaccines and autism, instead attributing rising diagnosis rates to improved medical recognition and changes in diagnostic criteria. The CDC maintains that serious adverse reactions to vaccines remain extremely rare and that the vaccines are safer for a child than contracting the diseases themselves. As the political landscape shifts in the US and Zambia, the immediate focus remains on the humanitarian struggle in Colombia, where rescuers continue to work through the night to reach those still trapped beneath the rubble.